What's in a name? A name such as 31-time AMA Pro winner Doug Poland.
The big red Ducati wins it here in Laguna.
35-time AMA Pro victor Nicky Hayden. Or Eric Bostrom with 45 trips to the top step.
The checkered flag for Eric Bostrom.
And how about Matt Milan with 82 bottles of champagne to his credit?
Matt Milan back on top.
And finally, the incomparable Miguel de Hamel with 87 career sets of AMA Pro checkers.
I want to beat everybody. I want to beat who's first.
All of those names belong to men of championship caliber. Superb athletes wrangling some of the most sophisticated superfast machines in all of racing. The motorcycles of the AMA, and each has tasted victory at one of the most prestigious circuits on the continent. Road America, located just outside Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Yesterday, number 1 Josh Hayes added to the legend of this storied facility with a much-needed win to win the weekend's first Superbike race. Now, with the lingering presence of those who've achieved so much on this fabled track, surely keeping tally, can he make it 2 for 2 in 2013? Welcome everyone to the second race of the second round of the 2013 AMA Pro National Guard Superbike Series, where a host of superbikes will for the second time in 2 days take on the 14-turn, 4.05-mile test of man and machine known as Road America. Cold and blustery conditions here at Road America, completely different than yesterday. Hi, I'm Jonathan Green, and along with World Superbike champion Scott Russell, and incidentally winner of 40 AMA races himself, and of course in the pits, Daniel Thiel, we'll be bringing you all the action from Road America. Now, as we saw in race 1 yesterday, Josh Hayes' win has shown that he is back in contention and headed, surely, for that 4th consecutive title. 2 Yamahas and 2 Suzukis on the front row. Josh Hayes on the pole, but he didn't get the start that he wanted. That didn't matter. By turn 3, he was barging his way past his Colombian rival Cardenas to take the lead. Championship leader going in, Josh Herrin on the number 2. Yamaha was the first casualty at turn 1, but the big battle was for 3rd place. Number 54, Roger Hayden, getting into a race-long scrap with Larry Pegram. Pegram making a mistake, bobbling towards the end of the race, leaving Hayden to cruise to 3rd. Talking of cruise, look at this. Number 1, Josh Hayes doing the business to take his first win of the year. Doing it in style at Road America. Hayes back in the saddle after winning ways and gunning for his number 4 title. Let's head down to the grid with Scott Russell. Josh Hayes with the win, Cardenas in 2nd place, Roger Hayden in 3rd. Larry Pegram in 4th, Danny Eslick taking 5th place. Tight at the top. Let's head down to Scott Russell, he's on the grid.
Well, here we are down here on the grid, hot and heavy. Race 2 coming up right now. We're in the pit of the Josh Herrin right now, his spot. He was the points leader coming into this weekend. And I'll tell you what, yesterday running a lonely 3rd spot. He hit a false neutral, went off the track at turn 1, regained position, but kind of shot himself in the foot. Today, he's going to try to redeem himself, and we wonder, is this the day that he's going to come up and beat his teammate Josh Hayes? Danielle, over to you.
I'm just awaiting the number 11 of Chris Fillmore. He had a great qualifying effort here today. These guys have been working really hard. Both teammates having a little bit of an issue yesterday, but I think they got things all worked out here today.
So as you can see there on the warm-up lap here at Elkhart Lake, and it's going to be an interesting race this. Can anyone stop the big cheese that is Josh Hayes here in Wisconsin? To find out, join us from Road America when we come back.
AMA Superbike on CBS Sports Network is brought to you by 1-800-MOTORCYCLE. The lawyers at 1-800-MOTORCYCLE remind you to ride safe tonight. 1-800-MOTORCYCLE. Lawyers helping injured riders. Call or click anytime for a free consultation. And by Yamaha. Yamaha is the first name in motorsports.
Welcome back to Road America. We're about to get underway for our second Superbike race of the weekend. And as it stands at the moment, Martin Cardenas holds the lead with 80, 9 ahead of Josh Herrin. Larry Pegram still in third, Danny Eslick up to fourth. But the interesting one is Josh Hayes moving up the board to sixth place, the current champion, minus 40 at the moment. So then, we are set fair. Let's head down to the grid. Daniel Teals right there.
Number 11, Chris Fillmore, had his best qualifying effort yet on this KTM. Chris, are you guys finally getting things worked out over there?
Yeah, we're doing good. You know, we came here to Road America. It's a hometown for HMC KTM, and getting seventh on the grid is it's showing that we've made really good progress, and look forward to hopefully knocking out 13 of those same laps like we did in qualifying, and I think we can give these guys a run for the money and hop in the top 5 hopefully.
There you have it, number 11, looking for a good result here in race 2.
Yep, we're all looking for more from Fillmore. Now, we've already talked about some of the greatest names in motorcycle racing, men who've set what many would view as impossible standards. Yet, believe it or not, each was, early in their career, a rider on the rise. Someone the current champions then kept a wary eye on. Diana Dahlgren reporting.
2013 for the number 68, Dustin Dominguez. He has stepped over the Daytona Sport Bike class to go superbike racing. Not only that, but earlier this year, he married the love of his life, Ashton, and they just announced that they're expecting their first child together. But most importantly, this Oklahoma native is doing all that he can to support the victims of the recent tornadoes.
It's pretty crazy just watching the news, seeing everything. You can see the tornadoes just go through the school. I mean, it was just horrible. Like, it was just thinking about everybody that's involved, and just sucks. I mean, that's the only word I can describe. One thing I'm doing this weekend is I'm going to ride my hardest, and I want to dedicate this to everybody back home in Oklahoma that was affected, and I know that you're not giving up, so I'm not going to give up. I'm going to ride my hardest, and this one's for you.
With a spirit like that, Dustin Dominguez just might be the next Moto champion.
An emotional weekend that started with a bang, quite literally. Smoke pouring out of Dominguez's bike yesterday afternoon, but as you heard, he's determined to turn this round and ride hard for what's happened in Oklahoma. Emotional weekend for him. So the grid, set fair and ready to go. Scott, what about the keys to this race?
Well, obviously yesterday we saw some action in turn 3, and that really told the tale right there. The race was pretty much won in turn 3. And the weather here has always been a question mark. I think we're going to get through that, so we'll see how that plays out. And, these guys ride with a rhythm, make no mistakes if you want to beat Josh Hayes today.
I think that's it. That's the thing that Hayes is doing so well when he's riding well, is he's not making mistakes. The others are making mistakes. So it's all a question of getting in that rhythm. They're all gunning for Hayes, but will he stay where he is and get more points? We'll find out. Welcome back to CBS Sports Network's coverage of AMA Pro Superbike action from Elkhart Lake. Josh Hayes on the pole, Martin Cardenas, his closest rival, then Hayden again, and Pegram obviously in another good position. Can Eslick do anything this time?
Well, he's going to have to do more than he did yesterday, and that key will be get a good start for him.
I'm watching out for the EBRs also. Jeff May gave me a little hint that the conditions could be set fair for their bike to go quicker.
Well, they're constantly working on that bike, trying to develop it, and anything's possible here at Elkhart Lake.
So that's your grid. 6 Chris Clark out of the race already, and that's a mechanical of some sort. Didn't even make the warm-up lap. Poor old Chris. So then, Scotty, as we once again took this look at this famous circuit, tell us your thoughts on, again, what the key is here about the track itself.
Well, the key here is having a fast motorcycle and being able to brake very late into some of these corners and carrying a lot of momentum in sector 3 and 4. Now you see long duration corners right here, and You got to be out clean. You got to run clean race if you want to beat Josh Hayes. You can't make any mistakes. And this track here can sucker some riders in the turn 5, turn 9 area. So we'll keep an eye on that and see how that plays out.
Well, I hear that Chris Clark has gone away again. He's moving. There he is. Good to see. So he may just make the race just.
Well, you saw him fooling with the gas cap. It could have been a hydro lock or some kind of deal like that. But nevertheless, the 6 is moving, and hopefully he'll get around in time to start the race with everyone else.
Let's head down to the grid. Danielle.
Just a last bit of info here, guys. Everyone in the Superbike class is on a new US-made slick rear tire. It is tested. It's ready to go. These guys are still trying to come to grips with it.
Great line. Yeah, exactly. New tires this weekend has thrown a few spanners in the works for these guys. The CFT, carbon fiber technology involved. Very interesting stuff by Dunlop, but it hasn't yet been easy for the riders to get used to new rubber, and that's so important because that's the key to any racer.
Obviously, I get used to something else, and it looks like we got a little bit of an issue here. But the tire, you know, they've done their homework here. They're developing the tires in America now, and it's a great thing.
Start delayed officially, but yeah, let's talk about the tires. I mean, I say for a racer that's the essential thing, but it's the one contact you have with the ground.
It is, and it's so much in feel. And the thing about the reason that tire's built here in America, the cost-effective. This is a marketing exercise right here for Dunlop. It's not to sell tires out here in the racetrack. They want to build a tire that really works for the American rider.
Now, interestingly enough, 53 degrees, humidity 63%, and the wind just 5 miles an hour. Now, we thought, as we started this morning, it was, 15, 20 degrees cooler than it was yesterday, but it's warmed up. So then, as we wait for the delay, let's talk about some past greats. Only 2 riders able to beat the number 1 of Matt Mladen in 2009. Larry Pegram was one of them. 10 years after his first and only Superbike win, Pegram simply didn't give up the dream. This race was a classic. The 72 of Pegram battled the 7-time champion Mladen the entire race, eventually repassing him for the win. The winless drought was finally over. Earlier today in the Super Sport race, a huge crash when 12 Thomas Bueta came together with Ricardo Valdez, and look at this, 8 riders involved. Awful crash.
I don't know if I've ever seen anything like this. This is terrible. Right here, we're going to watch the start. As they come up, you'll see Tomas Porta back here on your left side of your screen. The bike wheelies as he drifts to the right. There's no way he could steer the motorcycle. He clips the handlebar, and that just sets off a chain reaction, and what a terrible accident this was.
Well, I can tell you that several riders taken to hospital, but I'm glad to say with no life-threatening injuries. Ricardo Valdez, Carolyn Olsen, Tyler Linders, Alex Shaw, Sean Hill, and Roy Holster. Let's hope they get well soon. Let's head down to Danielle Till. What's the latest, Danielle?
The word is down here that Chris Clark, number 6, had a mechanical issue on his warm-up lap. And the official word is he's back on the grid and ready to go racing.
Well, that's good to know that he's back out there. So we await the start of race 2. And Josh Hayes, hold on. Don't forget, sit down with Louisville men's basketball head coach Rick Pitino. That's his 2nd national championship under his belt and a brand new tattoo on his back. Don't miss 1-to-1 tonight at 7:30 Eastern, only on CBS Sports Network. So, Scotty, we are away finally on that warm-up lap. And as we look at Cardenas and Josh Hayes, tell me a little bit more about the start of this race. We're going into turn 1 now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long run up to the turn 1 area, so it's key to get the bike launched out nicely. And then, you know, it's no guarantee because of the long run. You've got time to draft by a guy and make a move. And that's where everybody wants to really get as close to the front as they can in that turn 1 area, and especially in this section, Jonathan. It runs down the hill into this turn 3. This is where Josh Hayes took the elbow, moved Martin Cardenas out, and I feel like won the race yesterday. So, will the 36 play defense if he gets in front and try to keep the number 1 behind him?
Well, Josh Hayes has a huge record here, obviously, and he came here expecting to do the double because he's just got such a brilliant record here. But of course, after Daytona, his mind had the gremlins going for us. He admitted yesterday he was nervous.
I know, and you know, anything can happen in racing, and we've seen it. We've seen it here today, and we might see it again here today. So, I don't know. I'd like to think that there's somebody out there that can beat Josh Hayes heads up, but so far it hadn't really happened. And you know, the 36 of Martin, I think he may have the best shot. Josh Herrin, his teammate, got the same motorcycle. Everybody's still waiting for him to step up and take it away from the number one.
You know, a lot of races here at Road America have been upset by shenanigans, if you will. Last year was no exception. Yeah, last year, go ahead.
It was a weather, as we keep talking about here, can change everything. And we had some carnage in the pit area last year, and barrels flying. I mean, we're lucky nobody got hurt last year, but it was pretty intense moments. As you can see, the barrel fly through the tent of the neighboring team there. And like I said, no one was hurt. We got that calmed down and we got the race in. So today, the weather's been dodgy, but looks like it's going to hold out and give us a good opportunity to get a nice race in here today.
Yeah, we were worried because the warm-up, and once again, just to inform you, Hayes quickest in that as well. In fact, exceedingly quick, 2:14.9, almost a second quicker than anybody else. Roger Hayden second quickest on the Suzuki, then Cardenas and Jeff May. And what I thought was, I spoke to Jeff May earlier, and he was saying the EBR bike was so much faster, some 5, 6, maybe 7 miles an hour faster than when it's in hot conditions. But he obviously doesn't feel now that the weather has gone as well as it might do, because obviously the weather has improved.
True. Well, we'll just wait and see how that plays out for the EBR Eric Buell Racing team. Local team here looking to make good. Here we have let's take a look at the rain tires. You can see as you pour the water how that clears the water. That's what these treads designed for. If you pour that on a slick racing tire, you're not going to get the same effect as you'll see right here. And I got to tell you, as you see, the water can concentrate this area right in the contact patch if a rider was running straight up and down. So that's kind of how, and a great look at how a rain tire really works.
Well, no need for them at the moment for sure. Can Josh Herrin do something outside? He needs to, though. He was leading this championship before the weekend started. He's angry. Away we go there. Hayes gets away well. So does Cardenas. Number 36 in the middle of your picture. Leaning across to the right-hand side. Herrin gets away well too. But coming up the inside is number 99, and so too Roger Hayden, the 23.
Okay, now we got something we can work with. Martin again leads him into turn 1. He lost that lead yesterday as he went into the turn 3. Can he hold it? Both the Yamahas looking to jump on him already. Josh Herrin does do that down the inside.
Well, this is what we wanted. Hayes in third position at the moment with work to do. Now let's see how hard he works. And I'm sure he's going to try and get it back by the time they come to 5. And that's exactly what he's lining himself up to do.
Here we go. He's got a good run on the 36 as he look down. Martin's going to try to hold that about mid-track to try to defend the inside line, and he does a nice job. Hayes makes a little bit of a mistake, runs it a little bit wide.
Roger Hayden senses a chance in fourth position to have a pants himself, and he goes look at the inside of Herrin. Oh, that was close, but he holds back, stays in fourth place. Does the man from Kentucky.
Well, as Hayes lining him up as they come down the hill, they're going to hard break into this turn 8 area right here. Josh is so strong, looks so comfortable on that Yamaha, but Martin still continues to develop as a rider, as a superbike rider, and I think he's done a great job so far this year, getting a win in a couple of seconds already. And you can see the speed of Hayes in the mid-corner, just looking to drive around the outside of Martin. Maybe Martin's playing a little bit careful. Hayes down the inside, Martin shuts the door on him.
And this is a place that he and his spotter have been looking at. They told me to go and watch the warm-up from down there last night. Josh said, I'm particularly keen through that area after the go-kart track down there, and that's exactly where he was making his move then. Didn't quite pull it off as they head towards Canada.
Well, you know, you want to be strong down in that area. Let's take a look right here off the start again. The 36 moves over. He's got the position. He's got a nice line. There's 2 right there, falls in right behind him, and everything went well on the start of this race, and everybody gets through turn 1 clean.
So Cardenas still holding on to the lead. Josh Herrin in a good battle himself in third position. He needs to try and get back on level terms with these front 2. Just a slight gap, but not enough to worry about early stages yet. 1 of 12 done. Across the line, and here comes Hayes. He's got the slipstream, he's got the inside line. He comes alongside. He can't quite get past. Cardenas braking very late indeed. This is good work by the Colombian.
You see his teammate Herrin running a little bit wide right there out on the rumble strip, still maintains.
Here comes Hayes.
Martin's going to have to be a demon on the brakes to keep the number 1 behind him.
He's almost holding Hayes up.
He is holding him up because he has the buried in the corner so
Clark's
deep.
off again. Well, it's not been a good day for Chris Clark.
Again, down that run, down that long Andretti straightaway to 36, defending again, nicely done. And that's what we talked about, the things to watch for, and that's surviving that turn 5 area. Coming off, that's the fastest straightaway on the racetrack. It's easy to overbrake yourself and run wild.
I'm glad to see Roger Hayden's right up there too in 4th position. Here's another look at that turn 1.
Well, you can see Hayes spinning the tire on the inside. His teammate Herrin running using all the racetrack. And again, the 1 looks down the outside.
Oh, Hayes is really almost backing into Cardenas there. You can see he's faster, he just can't get past.
Well, that's what Cardenas needs to do. He needs to defend, keep him behind him. I don't care if you have to slow him down, whatever you got to do. Make that Suzuki as wide as you can.
Well, of course, if Cardenas can keep doing this, then the other 2 may just catch up and we'll have a 4-way battle. I don't think it's going to last, though. I think Hayes is going to get fed up of this and get by real quick.
Well,
up the hill, I think.
This is the section that you wanted him to have a look at. The thing is, Hayes wants to be good. Hayes is good all the way around the racetrack. But what's most important, if you're in a battle, be quick in the last sector that leads you back to the start-finish, and that's what he's queuing on.
Herrin's coming. 3rd place man. Did a 2:19.0 last time out, but the front 2, 2:18.7. Pegram still in 5th position. Danny Eslick up to 6th. Jeff Mays, who said, going good in 7th position. Fillmore 8th. Yates 9th. West in 10th position, just ahead of Anthony.
Making that final turn down this long straightaway uphill. These bikes are capable of running speeds over 200 miles an hour. Here they're going to be running about 190 as they get down to the end of this straightaway, and they're going to sit up on the brakes, and they go to the last man on the brakes is going to lead it into the corner, and that's Hayes.
Hayes does it! Monster move by the Monster Man to take the lead.
Now this is the most important lap of Martin's race right now. What will he do?
Oh, crash down. That's a big crash. And where's the rider? Oh, he's okay. On the other side of the track, he got the...
That's Jeff May.
Oh, yeah, just as I'm saying, he's going well. May out of proceedings from 7th position. Ooh, yeah, and the bike kept going.
Interesting. Wow.
So then, drama indeed here at Road America. Here is that lead change, though. Josh just blew by him, didn't he?
Yeah, he lined him up. He's been lining it up already.
So, AMA Pro Superbike from Road America continues on CBS after this. Welcome back to AMA Pro Superbike Racing, race 2 of the weekend here at Road America. And Josh Hayes, normal service resumed out front ahead of Cardenas, but now Josh Herrin starting to make an attack from 3rd place and getting closer and closer to the Colombian.
Well, I'll tell you what, Josh is so fast through the carousel area right there. I think we talked about him focusing on that area, and it's just amazing. Look at the gap he put on those guys in 1 lap.
Yeah, Josh Hayes pulling away at the front. He's got, oh, that's somebody in the pits. That's, it looks like Dominguez to me. Dustin Dominguez, the number 68, just if it wasn't for bad luck, he wouldn't have any.
0 luck this year. This is the 4th race now, out of 4 races this season, that he has not finished. He's going to throw his leg back over.
Well,
I'm not sure what's going on there.
We heard he's out. He's out, but at least, you know, hey, he said he was going to be determined. He wanted to race for Oklahoma. He's doing just that. He wants to finish this race and do what he set out to start with. Now, where is Herrin going to be strong? Where is he going to make the pass if he can try to get on Cardenas? Or where, to answer it another way, is Cardenas weak?
Well, it looks like to me that Cardenas' mid-corner speed is down a little bit. He turns in good, and he gets off pretty good, but right in the middle, it looks like the Yamahas are able to run right up on the rear wheel of the 36. Now he's made the move down the inside, the number 2, but it's hard to outbrake the 36.
Yeah, he's looking for that overtake. Can't quite do it at 5, and that's the obvious, or one of the obvious places to do it. Puff of smoke each time, but I don't think it's a problem.
You see what I'm talking about? Right in the middle of the corner right there. Herrin runs right up on the rear wheel of him. He'll turn in, and it looks like Martin has to slow it down just a little bit as he tips into the corner. Doesn't look quite as comfortable as the two Yamaha riders.
And Scott, you said it at the top of the program, this is a massive race for Josh Herrin, who's leading the championship going into the weekend, and then he started the weekend the worst possible way. Not only a lap gone before he was out of proceedings and nowhere in race one. I went off at turn one and there's really nowhere to go. He just was in the gravel before he should have been. A mistake by his own admission, and not the way he was defending that championship lead.
As he was going down through the gears for turn one, it went in between gears, in between third and fourth, and went into a false neutral. And at that point, you lose all your engine braking, and therefore you carry too much speed to tip the thing in. So he had to run it out wide.
KTM going grass tracking, 44, and that's Taylor Knapp. And that's his 4th DNF already this year.
That's not good. This is a hard track on engines. You're spending a lot of time at high RPM, at high speeds, so it really puts a strain on these engines, and the KTM's unfortunately having issues.
Let's head down to the pits with Danielle.
Number 68, Dustin Dominguez, having a lot of trouble out here. You're 2 for 2 in terms of bad luck at the rounds. What's going on with you guys?
Oh, I don't know. It's just a new bike. You know, we're development. It's all part of racing, but just a big bummer that I couldn't deliver for you guys back home in Oklahoma that got hit by the tornado. I mean, it sucks. I wanted to, give some of those people a little bit of hope, but we'll just keep on developing this bike, and hopefully we can come to the next round strong.
Number 68 looking very disappointed down here in his pits.
Nice words, though, and a nice guy. Just exactly what he'd hoped to set out to do. He said what he had to say, and he just couldn't do it on the bike today.
Well, he'll have his day. He was great last year in the DSB class, and I think he's got a bright future ahead of him. It's just right now they're trying to work the gremlins out in that bike, and it's not working out for him.
The battle for 2nd and 3rd continues, and a little further back, Roger Hayden's lost a little bit of time on that Suzuki in 4th place. Eslick in 5th now. They'll start to battle, I'm sure. Pegram down in 6th, so Larry not doing what he did in race 1. Fillmore 7th. And David Anthony up to 8th position right now.
Well, a little bit. When we watch this race for 2nd, there's a story behind the number 2 right here, and it is arm pump. And after we went away from Daytona, Josh has gone off.
Just explain what that is.
Well, arm pump is when the right hand controls the throttle and the brake, the most important controls on the motorcycle. Your arm gets full of blood, you lose feeling in your hand. It's like a surgeon trying to perform brain surgery with a numb hand. It doesn't work. That's how critical the right hand is to these motorcycle riders. So we'll keep our eye on the number 2, and we'll see if he can make it to the end of the race without having any issues with his arm.
Here's another battle. This is for 11th position between...
That's Chris Ulrich on the Broster Chicken Honda out here on the 18, leading the 86 right there, Farrell.
Yeah, good battle, and Chris Ulrich. And it's a family tradition. The Ehrliches are well involved, as we will know, in this sport. And Chris doing the business, got a chance to speak to him last night. And,
it's a great thing. They've gotten Honda back in the sport. We've missed Honda for several years now. We need them back in the sport. We need more of the green bikes out here, too.
Well, I was going to say, you took your World Championship on a green bike, I seem to remember. And, good to see Kawasaki doing the business. Of course, they're still doing it on the world level.
Are they
Tom
ever?
Sykes,
Tom Sykes doing a great job. And Farrell right here is giving Chris Ulrich all he can handle on that Honda as they make their way up to heading into the last corner right here. They're going to take a left, flick it right, and they're going to try to get that perfect drive out onto this long front straightaway. Let's see how that Kawasaki fares against the Honda as they run up the hill here.
Let's head down to the pits with Danielle Teal.
The number 28 of Ryan Kerr. Ryan, you had a great finish yesterday for your first Superbike race. Today, not so lucky.
Yeah, yesterday worked out really good for me and the team. I was super excited with the 14th place finish. We were the first privateer team, so that's really good and exceptional for us. We were running good today, and unfortunately, I think the second restart caused our clutch to go out. I was doing the best I could, and it finally stopped going, so it finished off our weekend.
Unfortunately for Ryan Kerr, his race is over here today.
Thanks, Danielle. And back to the racing here of race 2, and there's the gap that Josh Hayes has pulled out. It's exactly 1.9 seconds to you and me. That's 2 seconds, and that's enough to keep him comfortable and steady. And that's what I would call, in racing terms, a massive lead. 2 seconds, anything over 1.5, and you don't relax, but you know that you've kind of got control of the race.
Yeah, he's in control all the time. You see Roger Hayden making his way through the long downhill carousel. You know, having a good run. He wasn't happy with where he finished yesterday, and he may not be happy again today, but nevertheless, he's out there on his own, no pressure from behind, from the 54, just keeping it real as he makes his way through that chicane added in several years ago to make this track safer. And he runs down through the wooded section, headed to Canada Corner.
I always wonder how hard it must be for Roger, you know, continuing the family legacy. Your brother's a world champ, your other brother's been right to the top as well, so how hard is it for him?
Well, it's got to be tough. You know, you want to be better than your brother, obviously. And there's his teammate, Danny Essick, on the 23.
How good can he go this year, do you think?
I think this kid's full of natural talent. I think he's got to come to grips with this new Superbike he's riding. He rode Superbike last year on the Eric Buell bike. Now jumped to the Jordan team, and he's finding his way. He's got rid of the electronics. They've got all kind of electronics. There's Larry Pegram, but he decided to turn it off this weekend. Now, Larry had some issues leading out. He's not going to be happy with this run, obviously. He was up there battling for the 3rd spot yesterday.
Yeah, and we were talking, of course, about the fact that he's delighted to have this Yamaha. We believe it's the same spec as Josh Hayes, and so does he. And really, he should be, I'm sure, in his mind anyway. We just saw him a couple of years ago doing the business against Matt Mladen, but he'd want to be further up.
Well, you know, I don't know. That bike didn't seem to be quite as fast as the other two Yamahas, so there may be something there right now. Larry's up against it. Nevertheless, doing the best he can out there right now.
Ehrlich again in 11th place, and Farrell continuing their battle at top 12. Come towards turn 1. The Kawasaki looking up the inside. And nicely done.
Those Kawasaki's are great motorcycles. I had a chance to ride one last year a good bit, and just in stock form, they're an amazing machine. And as you can see right here, Farrell trying to make the most of it as he hits through turn 3, heads down that long Andretti straight.
Yeah, I was talking to Huntley Nash's crew chief about the Kawasaki, trying to compare it to the World Superbike spec where Tom Sykes is just steaming away as he did at Donington Park a couple of weeks ago. And they said the chassis is very similar. Obviously, it's different rules here for AMA, but the chassis is what makes it feel so good, and it's an easy bike to ride. And that's true here in the AMA as well.
It really is, and that was Gary Medley you were talking to, my old crew chief, who took me to the world champ on a Kawasaki.
Well,
so he's back over
he should know what he's talking about.
Yeah, he kind of knows what he's talking about for sure.
He did actually hint that he might need you to help him out sometime and tell him a few tricks.
I'm busy on these weekends.
So then, the racing continues here from Elkhart Lake. Road America, once again, not disappointing as Josh Hayes rides on to yet another victory we expect. Welcome back to the AMA Pro National Guard Superbike Round 2 Race 2, part of the Subway Super Doubleheader, presented by Yamaha. Yep, you join us here on CBS from Road America, and you've missed nothing while you were away. The top 3 still in a big battle, led, of course, by the current champion, Josh Hayes, who's bounced back after a disaster in Daytona and set out to do what he wanted to do after 9 weeks off, which was win twice at Road America. It's not over yet. With 3 to go, but he's looking good, Scott Russell.
Well, look, man, I looked at the times last time by, and Cardenas was 0.8 of a second faster than our leader, and it's visible right here. He's pulled away from the number 2. Is he have anything, or is Josh Hayes playing with him? That's going to be the question.
I think it's the latter myself, but there you go. Martin Cardenas then, 1.5 seconds behind. It's certainly enough time to catch up, but he's going to have to put an almighty run in those last 2 laps.
Well, if you listen close to the Suzuki, it's continuously making this cutting noise. That's the ignition being cut, the traction control kicking in. Both of these motorcycles, the Yamaha and the Yoshimura Suzuki, both run the Magneti Morelli system. And those are the best in the world. The best they can get. But the difference is the inline 4 on the Suzuki has such a higher power band that the cross-plane crankshaft on the Yamaha puts the power to the ground so much better. They can run less TC. And the Suzuki needs more. So then, as Cardenas continues to try and catch Josh Hayes, if he can, and if Josh Hayes wins every race, pole and laps led, he'll get a point for each of those, and Martin Cardenas does what he's doing right now and finishes second, Hayes will take the points lead by just 2 going into Laguna Seca Race 2. So that's where we stand. Wow, what a fascinating fact that is. So and it could just happen too. So Cardenas wants to change all that, but that's what Hayes is gunning for. He definitely wants to change that, and as they come by again that time, he's 0.3 of a second faster than our leader. Time is running out on him. Time is not on his side.
Well, here's the schedule. Of course, we're heading to Barber Motorsports in June. Book your tickets. Come on down to that. Mid-Ohio. What a great course that is. Then it's Laguna Seca. And by July, he hopes to be in the summer sun, does Josh Hayes, and back into the lead of the championship. But that won't mean it's the end because, look, Miller, Indianapolis, New Jersey, and then, of course, Laguna as well. So it's going to be tough.
It is. This is interesting stuff right here. It's a 36. As they pile on the brakes after a 190-mile-an-hour straightaway right there. I can't tell you how intense those moments are on these big bikes. And you see a bit of a puff of smoke out of the number one as he shifts gears. Could he be having an issue? We saw him have an issue at Daytona. It's rare for the Graves Yamaha to have any problems, but it has happened.
I asked him when I arrived at the weekend, I said, how often does that happen? He said, never. Hey, look at this. We're getting back to our battle with 11th and 12th. Farrell getting past Ehrlich there. And the Kawasaki just ahead. They got company too, though, because that's West.
It's West on the back end. He's coming up on that Broaster Chicken Honda again as he takes a look over his shoulder.
Here's another look. So it was a pass. In fact, for a moment, I thought it was the 18, but it's the 13. And that's West.
He looked up the inside right there, but didn't have anything for him right there.
So this battle continues for a top 10, top 12 position finish as Hayes, Cardenas, Herrin, and Hayden in 4th position. Eslick still 5th. Larry Pegram in 6th place. Fillmore 7th. Anthony still 8th. Then Yates.
David Anthony. That's David Anthony and Chris Fillmore. And David Anthony drafted Chris Fillmore on the last lap to the finish line yesterday. Now, did Chris Fillmore pay that favor back to him? We're going to wait and see as they battle it out, down through that carousel, out of the carousel, the chicane, down through the wooded section, headed to Cannon Corner. Hard braking zone as they're going to come through the wood right here. The Yamaha on the 25 is pretty quick. Looks like it's got the legs on the KTM.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is a bit like deja vu, and he is the Aussie.
He is that. And he's having a good year.
Yep, pushing hard. Chris Fillmore, though, on the KTM. And I love the look of that bike. I just wonder, when are we going to see it at the sharp end? When are we going to see the best out of it? They say it's one of the greatest handling bikes there is.
Well, you know, that they say that a lot when the motorcycle's not that fast. You know, some of the, you know, I rode some stuff in the past that handle pretty good, but if it doesn't run in a straight line, so it's easy to make the bike handle. But right now, they've been having some issues with that bike, but Chris Fillmore has really done a great job. Mitch Hansen and the whole KTM crew over there, a great bunch of guys. They're going to get it right eventually.
White flag waves then, and Josh Hayes leads by 1.2 seconds. That's all at the front. Cardenas doing the best he can on the Suzuki. And here's another battle a little further down. And once again, the 13 of West coming alongside the Kawasaki of Farrell. That's a battle between West, Farrell, and Ehrlich for 10th place. Down the hill they come to turn 2 and 3.
They still got a lot of things to figure out. They got a lot of racetrack left. One more time around here down this long straightaway. Let's see if Ulrich on the 18 can get a draft off these two bikes and make something happen down in turn 5.
Down towards turn 5 they come then for the last time, and it's right. Anchors on. And it's glory or nothing here.
West strong on the brakes on that EBR.
Nicely done, cleanly through. No heroics on 5, up to 6. Next chance to overtake?
Well, that's all I'd have to say down in turn 8. I'm going to swing through turn 7, there's nothing here. And it doesn't look like anybody's really that close to making an out-braking maneuver as they get down to turn 8 right here. So right now, West isn't looking too bad.
Back with the leader though, Josh Hayes cruising once again, and it's been another picture-perfect Elkhart Lake for him. He planned it this way. He thought about it long and hard for 9 weeks. He didn't enjoy the 9 weeks where he got nothing, but he's enjoying every moment of Road America, and he'll love that checkered flag, which tells him he's won 2 out of 2 here. Finally jumping back after a disaster at Daytona. He bounces back here at Road America, and he's on the road now towards that 4th consecutive title. At least he'll hope so. Can Fillmore do anything here?
I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't know that he's got the straight line speed right now. He's really made a good effort to get as close to Anthony's rear wheel as he can. Look at that.
Here we
great
go.
run.
Oh, Chris, get that grunt going. Get that draft if you can. Don't think he's going to do it. Up and over the hill they come. Anthony does it for Australia. And it's almost a repeat of yesterday. Well, Josh Hayes does it. He wandered through the woods of Wisconsin. And that wizardry gives him 2 in a row here at Road America.
AMA Superbike on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by 1-800-MOTORCYCLE. The lawyers at 1-800-MOTORCYCLE remind you to ride safe tonight. 1-800-MOTORCYCLE. Lawyers helping injured riders. Call or click anytime for a free consultation. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on motorcycle insurance. Get a free rate quote today.
Welcome back to Road America, where Josh Hayes has cruised to his 2nd victory of the weekend, just as he planned. The number 1, and now we know why. That was quite superb. Prepared to be amazed by Josh Hayes for the rest of the season. So in they come to get the congratulations of their teams. Helmets will be coming off soon. But that was a pretty satisfactory weekend for both Yamaha and Josh Hayes. Let's go down to Danielle Teal.
After a disastrous Daytona, the number 1, the defending champ, Josh Hayes. Josh, you said you were going to put a hurting on him. I think you did just that.
I gave it my best go. That was a really hard race. Martin was riding incredible. I got a little gap, and then it seemed like he started clawing his way back, and I was getting pretty nervous because I didn't know I could go a whole lot faster. I was trying pretty hard. So congratulations, good ride to him, good ride to my teammate up here, another Yamaha on the podium. And
how about that pass?
Oh, yeah, you know, I tried a couple of times. I had to come up with the right one, and figured I'd just keep throwing them at him till I got one.
Well, he got it, number 1 defending champ, Josh Hayes.
Yeah, did it in style too, but he's right. Martin did get mean finally, and that's what we've been looking for. Not what he's been looking for. In terms of the final results then, Josh Hayes out front with Yamaha. Martin Cardenas on the Suzuki taking 2nd place importantly. Josh Herrin in 3rd position on the Yamaha. And Roger Hayden, Eslick, Pegram. Anthony, good result for 7th to hold off Chris Fillmore. Further down, Farrell in a good battle with Chris Ehrlich in 12th position. Huntley Nash on his birthday weekend finally gets that Kawasaki into the points in 13th position ahead of Chris Clark, who had a bit of a trouble problem at the start. Dominguez obviously not finishing the race. Let's head down to Danielle.
Number 36, Martin Cardenas. Martin, 2 second-place finishes here this weekend. You got out front there, but Josh was just putting the pressure on you. Tell us about how that race went down.
Yeah, I got a good start. I was leading for like 2 laps. Then Hayes passed me, and he turned down a couple of very fast laps and got me a little bit. And at the end, like maybe the last 6 laps, I was gaining a little bit every time. But today I'm happier than yesterday. Much better race. We're a little bit closer. That's the idea. And just very happy with the Yoshimura Suzuki team, and the bike is working awesome, and thanks to everybody.
Number 36, Martin Cardenas. 2 second-place finishes here this weekend at Road America.
Yeah, and he needed them too, because obviously he wants to keep the battle alive. And as we can see, after 2 rounds, Cardenas now with 105 points. Herring still 2nd though, minus 13. Moving up the board, as you can see, in 4th place now, the current champion Josh Hayes is on the move. And it's only a matter of time before he's going to be right up there, vying with the Suzuki of Cardenas. Roger Hayden taking 6th place overall at the moment, Fillmore 7th, and then Clark just behind him. So a great weekend of racing, Scott. I think you'd agree.
Oh, definitely. I got to say something about Josh Herrin. I thought maybe he had a little problem with that arm again. I thought he did a good job, though, rebounding from his incident yesterday, bringing it home in 3rd. But it's going to be a long season. It's going to be exciting to watch.
Thanks, Scott. Yeah, and for Scott Russell, Daniel Teal, and Diana Dahlgren, I'm Jonathan Green. For scores, highlights, and more, go to cbssports.com. This has been a presentation of AMA Pro Racing, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. We'll see you next time from Barber in Leeds, Alabama.